He's nicknamed the Grant County John Doe. 35 years ago today, a man was found dead in a barn, and his identity is still unknown. Even with advancements in forensic science, Kentucky State Police needs help with this cold case. Kentucky native Melissa Morgan is the host of the Just the Tipsters Real Crime podcast, and she's here to highlight that case. Melissa, good to see you. Good morning.
Good morning, Sheila.
So the way this man was found was very unusual. Tell us, first of all, just about the circumstances of his discovery.
Extremely unusual. He is an unusual looking fellow, and he was found in a barn approximately 2 weeks after he was murdered with his hands cut off and 2 shots to the back of his head and no clothing. And he is very unusual looking. He was 6'4". He was very young, probably between 20 and 25 years old, 220, 230 pounds, distinctive looking in that he was probably from an Eastern Bloc country, Bosnia, Serbia, Croatia, odd facial features, flat head syndrome in the back, where if I don't have kids, but I think if you have kids, you know, you kind of move them around as babies so that their heads kind of form. He had flat head syndrome, which doesn't, have anything to do with cognitive issues. It's just a look, but it's a distinctive look. The most unusual dental work I've ever seen in my life, and he has to be recognizable to someone.
Yeah, so you mentioned some of his features and the fact that they know that he's from an Eastern Bloc country. For one thing, the dental work was nothing that would ever be done in this country. I heard you say on your podcast. He also had some injuries that maybe make investigators think he could have been a soldier or a boxer, right?
Absolutely. Healed nasal fractures and the extensive dental work. It could have been several things. Because of the era in the late 80s and because of his age, he could have been a soldier in Bosnia. He could have been a boxer. It's a very, similar kind of an injury you would have if you took hits to the face. I wondered if it was maybe a car accident, something like that. But it's so unusual. I mean, everything about this young man was so unusual. I was shocked. No one came forward.
Yeah, and when you see the new photo that KSP has been able to get made, I mean, it seems like he'd be recognizable. Also, what they were able to do was get new DNA because troopers exhumed his body. I know that that's in a database, but it's not making any connections, right?
Not yet, but they're very hopeful. I do want to say a special thank you to Katiana Falsetti, who is the forensic artist, because what forensic artists do a lot of times is magic, because they have to do a rendering from a post-mortem photo, an autopsy photo,
right,
and trying to recreate someone alive from a picture where they're no longer alive is kind of magical. And I feel like most forensic artists are an open channel. Like, I don't know if it's the, the spirit of the deceased, or I can't explain it, or maybe it's just because they're true artists, but they have done things that once you see, when they figure out who this is, it's truly magic. So she is an amazing artist. The first artist rendering, I don't know that would have been that helpful. And again, we're talking 35 years ago. Right. But the new updated drawing, amazing. And Detective Joe Filiatru from KSP is completely undaunted by the challenges of this case. He exhumed the Grant County John Doe, got DNA, and they are now looking, obviously, the advancements in genetic genealogy at areas like Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Ohio, where there's a larger area of immigrants from Croatia, Serbia,
right. Okay.
Bosnia.
Well, Melissa, thank you for highlighting this. If you want to hear more, you can listen to her Just the Tipsters podcast. Also, if you have information, call Kentucky State Police Post 6. We put their link and their phone number on our website to make it easy for people. Melissa, local12.com. Thanks a lot for filling us in this morning. Good to see you.
Thank you, Sheila.
We'll be right back.
From breaking news to feel-good stories, Local 12 has it all. Tap subscribe and hit the links to find out more.